Hi there, my name is Ben Falcone, and I'm so excited to be reading my new book, What's Scarier Than Thunder, for Barnes & Noble Storytime. Amazing illustrations by Cornell. Thank you so much, Kevin. What a beautiful job. Let's jump right in. Let's just do it. There's some stars. Here we go. It was way past Claire's bedtime, but there was a storm outside, and it was so extremely scary. Claire tried her best to keep her cool. She really did. Until... crash! Dad, called Claire. Her father came rushing in. Can't sleep? I'm scared, Claire whispered. Oh, honey, I used to be scared of thunder too, Dad said. You were? Claire thought she was the only one. Absolutely, until I realized there were so many things much scarier. Really? Scarier than thunder? Yes. For example, did you know there's a deadly scorpion named Finn who plays violin? Claire giggled. Is that supposed to be scary? I'm just getting started. Hold on to your hat, said her father. There's a moose filled with custard holding a sword made of mustard. And an angry hyena who's a bad ballerina. There she is. Truth be told, Claire didn't know how to feel about that. I've seen a snake with big fangs and uneven bangs. Yep, there she is. Dad, are you sure you even know what scary means? I'm positive, he answered. There's this spider named Clarence who's afraid of grandparents. Claire pictured her own Gammy and Gampy, who were not scary at all. And I once took a stroll and saw a tiny troll who didn't have any teeth, but he was eating corned beef. Yeah. Yikes. Dad, said Claire, you're so silly. None of those things are scarier than thunder. But she had to admit, it felt good to laugh. Oh, really? What about the witch in the woods who tried to sell her baked goods to a goblin named Art who just loved to sneeze? Claire laughed so hard her mom came into the room. What's all this giggling about? Shouldn't you be asleep by now? I'm glad you're here, honey, because Claire thinks thunder's the scariest thing around. Can you believe that? Oh, wow. Thunder doesn't even bother me now that I've seen some truly scary things. But I probably shouldn't tell you about them. Claire couldn't help herself. She was too curious. Please, she asked in her most polite voice. Well, if you're sure. I went out to eat with a sad vampire named Pete and a zombie named Lisa who ate all of my pizza. Claire figured that zombies probably didn't have the best manners. And there's the polar bear named Rose who had very cold toes, so she tripped on her blanket and got conked in the nose. Poor Rose. Claire tried to hide her smile, thinking of a soft white bear tangled up in a blanket. Did you already mention Steve? No. Are you sure you can handle it? She's tough, and she has to know about these things, right? You're right. Claire's mom took a deep breath. Never invite over the Minotaur named Steve, because after dinner he just won't leave. Even when you show him the door, he'll stay until 4. That guy. 4 in the morning. Claire had never stayed up that late. Just thinking about it made her sleepy. Claire's dad chimed in. It was quite a shock to meet the monster from Locke. Not another monster, Claire cried. Yes, and he had tummy troubles, which made lots of bubbles. Claire giggled. And there's this giant squid named Daryl, who sang Christmas carols, added her mom. Giant squid sounded terrifying, but Claire loved Christmas carols. I love this picture. Claire's dad stood up. Remember that fierce dragon named Rance who had ants in his pants? Of course, responded her mom. Rance wanted romance, but he simply couldn't dance, and each time he fell down, he burped fire on a clown. Poor clown. Yeah, there he is, getting fire burped on him. Claire wasn't sure about clowns, thought burping was hilarious, and wasn't allowed to go near fire. This was too much. Maybe she thought it'll be easier just to go to sleep, but how could she when her parents were so excited? The clown ran to the lake, but he tripped on a rake, which hit a lion named Blake, who almost choked on her cake, which stopped the birthday party for the disco werewolf named Marty. Because disco werewolves need parties too. Who fell back in surprise and startled 6 flies and then flew straight into his big werewolf eyes. Things got quite hairy when he roared at a fairy who panicked and fled and hid in the shed where she saw a scorpion named Finn as he played violin. Wait, how on earth am I back at the beginning? So, Claire's asleep. It worked. So, now you see that thunder falls flat when compared to all that, her mom said softly. Good night, little one. Dream of sweetness and fun. And they leave. And then she gets to hang out with all her friends. Well, I hope you enjoyed hearing this book. If you want to get a copy, Barnes & Noble has them, or barnesandnoble.com. I hope you read with your families and laugh with your families, and have a great day. Bye!